Breathing.
Yes. There being levels to the emotion, so it's not all the frantic stuff.
How are you accomplishing that? How did you decide where those levels were, or what they were going to be? Take me through your thought process.
I think I kind of started thinking through what the character's intents maybe were behind certain lines before we just yelling everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had this whole moment where we were just sad about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So then we really started thinking how, play the opposite of what we were thinking initially, and that kind of helped us start finding some type of balance.
Okay.
So for me...
Because obviously he wants me to tell him, so if
Yeah.
he's just screaming at me, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
I think for me, just movements that are natural and trying to, and like actually doing stuff.
Good. So specific activities.
Yes.
Right.
Love that,
Yes.
Yeah.
as always.
And it was difficult because we have a few things, so we'll see how it works.
All right. I look forward to it.
Awesome.
Right there.
Ready?
Here we go.
All right.
Should we get a timer going, Keith?
Someone give me 20 minutes from action.
I'll do
All
it.
right.
I'll do it.
No, you got enough. You got the camera.
Okay.
Time to do it.
Somebody-
got it.
Thank you, Tony. Divvy up the duties. Don't take them all.
Thank you.
Don't be piggy.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want
do
it.
all the
I
jobs.
don't want it. I don't want it.
Is that what it's like when you make a film? I'll do all the jobs. Okay, here we go. Stand by. Settle in. Thank you. Action.
Look, I don't understand why.
I have to know.
Why?
Paulina, I love you. I need to hear it from your lips. It's not fair that after all these years, the person that ends up telling me is him. It would be intolerable.
Whereas if I told you, it would be tolerable?
More tolerable than if he tells me first.
Look, I already told you all of this, Gerardo. I mean, wasn't that enough?
15 years ago, you started to tell me and then you just...
Did you expect me to keep talking to you with that bitch there? Yeah. That bitch who came out of your bedroom half naked, wanting to know what was taking you so long.
She wasn't a bitch.
Did she know where I was? Of course she did. A bitch who would fuck a man whose woman wasn't even able to defend herself.
We're not going to start this all over again, Paulina. How many times do I have to lie?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Who's on
And nobody's on script. So cut.
So sorry.
Great. Bob,
I got
stop.
it right here.
Because I was like, I don't think that's on. I don't know.
Why'd you put the cup down when you turned to talk cookies anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. I just really just put it
Hang on to it.
Okay.
Keep it in your hand, you know? You got something to, what were you going over there to do?
to pour us a glass.
What it was.
So,
Clever, wasn't it?
so if
I'm on
it
camera.
interrupts that, why are you getting pouring a glass of water?
One, I just want to, she's doing the thing she always does, and I'm just, let's just pray for some drinks, chill out, have some water for me.
Who's the water for, you or her?
Water's for me, wine's for her.
Great, so you need a glass of water?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't
Why?
know why I missed that one.
Just, I don't know. I feel like I'm really concerned about getting her wine.
Are you thirsty?
Yes, I am thirsty.
Great,
He's
so
thirsty
you're
today.
getting your glass of water because you're thirsty. I think it's a great
Yes.
reason to get a glass of water.
Sure.
So then don't stop. If she interrupts it, your thirst doesn't go away, does it?
No.
So continue to, if she interrupts, you have to stop and turn to her and talk to her with a glass in your hand.
Okay.
She's getting in your fucking way, but I'm still thirsty. I'm gonna get my fucking water. So what the fuck is your problem? And then you can go back to, so it keeps, what those things keep you from doing is using your hands to make a point. And instead, if you've got an object in your hand, it doesn't look like you're trying to gesture to make a point. It's just, I got this object, fuck, now.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
How did I miss that one?
Almost.
You're the one who started it.
Good.
That's teamwork mentality.
That's right. Keep that same energy.
Good. Stand by.
Wrong energy.
Action.
Look, you know what? I don't understand why.
I have to know.
Why?
Paulina, I love you. I need to hear it from your lips. It's not fair that after all these years, the person that ends up telling me is him. It would be intolerable.
Whereas if I told you, it would be tolerable.
More tolerable than if he tells me first.
I already told you all of this, Gerardo. Wasn't that enough?
15 years ago, you started to tell me.
Did you expect me to talk to you in front of that bitch? Yeah, that bitch that came out of your bedroom half naked wanting to know what was taking you so long. And you expected me to tell you
She
that
wasn't a bitch.
Did she know where I was? Of course she did. A bitch who would fuck a man whose woman wasn't exactly able
We're not going to
defend
start this
herself.
all over again, Paulina.
You're the one who started it!
How many times do I have to keep it? I'd spent 2 months trying to find you. And yeah, she came by. She said she could help. We had a couple of drinks and... My God, I'm also human.
While I defended your life. While your name never left me, never left my mouth. Ask Miranda if I ever so much as even whisper your name.
You already forgave me for this. You forgave me for it. How many times do we have to keep going over this? We'll die from so much past pain and resentment. Let's finish it. Let's finish that conversation we started years ago and never speak about it again.
Forgive and forget, eh?
Forgive, yes. Forget, no. Just forgive so we can move on. There's so much life for us to live, Paulina. We can't keep going back and forth about the same thing.
Did you expect me to tell you what they did to me in front of her? In front of that I should have... How many times?
How many times what?
How many times did you fuck her?
Paulina,
How many?
baby, don't.
How many times did you do it, Gerardo? You tell me and I'll tell you.
Are you trying to destroy me? Is that what you want?
No.
Well, that's what you're going to do. You're going to destroy me. You're going to end up in a world where I don't exist. Is that what you want?
I want to know how many times you fucked that bitch.
Don't do this to me, Paulina.
How many times, Gerardo? The truth.
People can die from an excess of truth, you know.
That wasn't the first night, was it? You'd seen her before, right? The truth, Gerardo.
Twice.
That night. What about the nights before?
Times.
What?
3 times.
She was that good? You liked her that much? I guess she liked it too. I mean, she must have really enjoyed it since she was
Do you
Kept
understand
coming
what
back.
you're doing to me right now?
beyond repair, huh? Irreparable.
What do you want from me? We survived the dictatorship. We survived that, and now you want to do what those bastards out there couldn't do to us. Is that it? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to go out that door and never see you again? Is that it? you're gonna get.
Cut. Interesting. It was interesting. It was not what you expected, not what you planned.
No.
It just felt like,
Well, that
Rock-
shit
it felt-
happens.
it felt rocky.
And you know what? It goes in the can, and then they use it, and then you hate yourself, and you hate the project because they use your worst take. So just let's life, get used to it.
Don't sugarcoat it.
So I didn't see your second showing a couple weeks back, whatever. I missed that one. But I
You
love
missed the pink.
the dynamics. Well, I don't know. I didn't see it. I love the dynamics. So whatever you guys, I remember the first one, and now the third one. But just it's a fantastic dynamics from the beginning down to the end. At the end, I thought you were gonna pick up that gun and shoot him.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, it was there. It was there. So great work.
I was going to add to that because I agree. And when it comes to that gun, Daijreous, it didn't look like you were concerned at all about that gun. And you have a lady that's going crazy. She's pissed for a good reason. She's drinking and she's waving that gun around.
She waved it at you
And you
once.
actually, you actually stayed seated. And I didn't see you look at the gun once.
And I think that's probably the most important note
Okay.
from the showing tonight, is that what we've now realized is you let her keep that gun. Does the script specify you keep it the whole time?
Never is an exchange where they take it. So.
And there's never are there references where she's holding the gun, she waves the gun, but so I think that's something really worth exploring as to whether or not you actually have it, or maybe you take it away at the top of the scene, or you put it down at the top of the scene over by the door and come in here, or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it was weird. Because I was like, the most time that I noticed it is when like she was about to get up.
Mhm.
But even still, if it's not translating, then I'm like, I don't really know how
The,
to
the,
not take away.
the only reason she doesn't shoot you, I thought, was because you just made the case for the fact that she doesn't want to live without you.
Yeah, okay, but about that though.
Mhm.
You were saying no, you don't want him to leave. But
What-
I guess I didn't believe you felt that way, and or I didn't see how you made that transition based off of what he was.
It's a great note. It's a great note.
But mine was still a little bit better.
All the notes from that side of the room have been
amazing.
just as good as all of the notes from this side of the room. I'm just going to say.
Wait a minute.
But the points don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an important thing you've got to sort of play with and fix, because it is literally the gun that we're waiting for someone to use, and the fact that you are divulging all of this stuff and you're relinquishing your
You
power.
don't want me to have a gun.
You know.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Great notes. What else, guys? Since
Hey,
you're on a roll.
what is the line beyond repair, huh? Irreparable.
Beyond repair, irreparable. Well,
What's that about?
way earlier in the script, towards the very beginning of the play, she
She says that one.
it said, and I can't remember exactly how the scene goes, but it's like it comes back to, and she says it again.
She's talking about the cases that he's going to
Go.
take on, and
So when-
he only
Right by
takes the
her.
most serious cases, and so
Oh,
Colleen
the ones
says
beyond
the
repair.
most
Yep.
irreparable, or
Yeah.
beyond repair.
So I noticed that reoccurs again at that moment,
I think it's a
when she
very-
says beyond repair.
It's a very astute observation. Very good for catching that. Excellent, especially since the scenes are so far
They're
separated.
way far
Way.
apart, but for some reason that one line stood out, and I was like, I know
People
I
like, where
saw
does this
that,
line
I
come
saw
from?
that
People like,
somewhere
let's look for
before.
the line.
So yeah.
But go ahead, Tony. Why'd you ask the
I'm just
question?
saying, like, I mean, that's the only line of dialogue in between, like, when she's, coming at him aggressively about the whole cheating thing, and then the whole no. So,
Yeah.
how is that the transition? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, I see. Do you understand what you're doing?
And it's kind of like, he's like, do you understand what you're doing to me? And for her, I think it's by him not really working her case. Like, it's like, do you realize what you're doing to me? Like, it's beyond repair. It's irreparable. So what he did, or maybe it has to do with him sleeping with her, it's beyond repair, irreparable.
What I'm looking for here is why the transition happened. With because it's just like it goes from the apex of all the accusations and talking about how many times you had sex with the other girl.
Well,
to
this is
no.
the first time,
You know what I
like,
mean?
she didn't really think that I think in my mind it was like, yeah, he kind of fucked her, but it was just, that night, and she's not really expecting him to say, yeah, it was 3 times, and that's when, like, she starts to realize, he really liked her. So it hurts her a lot.
In what way?
Well, because she loves him, and she was gone, and for him to see her over and over, he must have loved her.
I guess is that the transition?
Is that?
Possibly. If we're missing it from the last reading, I'm just trying to figure out what the transition should be from where we were with that conversation to the no. It's a big change, right? That we
I
missed
think
why
I
it
think
happened.
the second he says 3 times is like,
But that,
what?
But I think they're referencing the transition to you
Oh.
wanting me to stay.
Oh, wanting you
I think,
to
I'm not
stay?
sure.
Is that
Yeah.
what the question is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Opposed
sorry,
to
I
not the
wasn't getting
transition
that.
from where we were fussing.
I'm sorry, I was not on mission.
I think the way Daijreous says, because right after you had three times, and then you kind of,
Yeah.
that's where you want these details. She was that good. You're coming at him. I remember this last tape that Daijreous just did. Do you understand what you're doing to me? I got that it was heartbreaking, and that is.
I don't
why
think when
you
she,
sort of-
for me, when she says she was that good, you must have really liked her. I don't think
We're away
that.
from time.
I think those are
I'm
like.
sorry.
She's not looking for him to answer those questions. I think she's thinking out loud.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
4
what
minutes.
he's talking about, that change of you saying irreparable and changing it to that, I thought that had come from his line, from his deliverance on the previous.
Yeah, also, okay, so also, I'm gonna throw this out too. So Daijreous, you're a lovely person, and Daijreous has an energy, an emotional energy. I'm gonna call it Timba, his arms wide. It was just a Star Trek
3
reference.
people got that.
Thank you. And
I noticed I did this way more.
it's not just that. You have sort of a deeply empathetic quality to you that is infiltrating the scene in ways that I think you may not intend. When it went away, you've made some really beautiful moments happen. That whole thing about, are you trying to destroy me? When you came on strong this time, I thought, damn, yes! Because here's the frontal assault, where she's just pushed you too far, and you feel the need to push back. There are a few more moments like that. There is room for the honey, please, look, I just care about you, which is what I'll call that tendency within Daijreous to emotionally supplicate yourself and to ask rather than demand. And I think there is more room for Daijreous as an actor to allow this character to demand. And I think in that last transition, you defaulted to the asking for a little too long. And I think it needs the demanding
Which part?
for her to turn. So the whole ending of the scene.
The last.
So after you say, "You're killing me," you know what you're doing to me. You're killing me, which is a beautiful moment. Don't change that at all. But then something about that whole speech.
The
and
speech, we survived the dictatorship, and
Okay.
what.
Yeah, it changes, and it becomes more affirmative, more aggressive, more defensive,
You
more.
did it that way during the second showing, though.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, we
that
did.
strength.
And it comes on strong. And so what you're basically doing is depending on what you've actually done, you're gaslighting her. You're forcing her to confront her own weaknesses and to capitulate. And that she says, no, I don't want to lose you. And so there's it needs your force to get her to go, okay,
No, I don't want to.
A little bit.
Okay.
And right now it was, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, and it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's really the sort of the crux of it for you, is that you've got to bring a little more of that energy you find. You try to destroy me? Is that what you're trying to do? Because that's what you're doing. Find that in a few other places in the scene. Really, though, you found both of you found some really nice stuff. That exchange with the 3 times is still heartbreaking. It's still heartbreaking because of the connection you guys found. I think you're wanting to linger in it a little too long. I think that note will get you out of it.
Okay.
Irreparable, right, we talked about that. And excess of truth. You say that directly to her face. And your line after that is what? An excess of truth. People can die for an excess of truth.
Is that where I say, how many times, Gerardo?
Yeah,
You tell me and I'll tell you.
If you say that to her face, you're trying to fend her off. And it works as a choice. But given the line that
It
follows,
doesn't work.
she feels empowered.
Yeah.
I think it demands that you not make eye contact.
No, I agree. I think that was like the first time I ever said it with Quincy, so it was kind of weird. And I was
Yep,
like,
and that's fine. And so it's a
She gonna
discovery
shoot
there.
me?
Breath, right, so kind. You're so kind, Tim, by his arms wide. Let's do one more run and then we'll stop. Give you one more time to work through this and we're gonna switch scenes. Who's the next scene up?
Yeah.
Great. You step out and run lines if you like.
We just came
Just
back.
did, great, stand by. I think holding the cups really worked.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sherry, God,
what?
dog it.
What?
Keith says, sitting down, not helping.
I ain't seen anybody move.
Oh, no.
Nobody let Sherry touch a chair.
We're just waiting on you to not do it.
What?
Stand by.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Stand by. I love that energy at the top of this last thing, though. Nice, coming out of the... Keep her from killing him. Stand by. Shh. Action.
Look, you know what? I don't understand
I
why.
have to know.
Why?
Look, baby, I love you. I need to hear from your lips. It's not fair that after all these years, the person that ends up telling me is him. It would be intolerable.
Whereas if I tell you, it would be tolerable.
More tolerable than if he tells me first.
I already told you all of this, Gerardo. I mean, wasn't that enough?
15 years ago, you started
Look,
to tell me, and then
Did you expect me to keep talking to you with that bitch there? Yeah, that bitch that came out of your bedroom half naked, wanting to know what was taking
she
you
wasn't
so
a
long.
bitch.
Did she know where I was? Of course she did. A bitch who would fuck a man whose woman wasn't exactly able to defend
We're not going to
herself.
start this all over again, Paulina.
You're the one who started it.
How many times do I have to keep... Look, I'd spent 2 months trying to find you. Then she came by, said she could help. We had a couple of drinks and... My God, I'm also human.
Well, I defended your life. Well, your name never left my mouth. Ask him, ask Miranda if I ever so much as even mentioned
You already forgave me. You forgave me for this. How many times do we have to keep going back and forth about this? We'll die from so much past pain and resentment. Look, let's finish it. Let's finish that conversation we started years ago and never speak about it again. Let's close this chapter. Paulina, come on.
Forgive and forget, eh?
Forgive, yes. Forget, no. But forgive so we can move on. We have so much life to live at this point.
Look, what did you want me to do? Did you want me to talk to you, tell you what they did to me in front of her? That I should have... How many times?
How many times what?
How many times did you fuck her?
Paulina,
How many? You tell
Baby,
me
this
and
is not
I'll
the-
tell you. How many times, Gerardo? You tell me and I'll tell you.
are you trying to destroy me? Is that what you want?
No.
Well, you're gonna destroy me. You're gonna live in a world where I don't exist. Is that what you want?
I want to know how many times you fucked that bitch!
Don't do this to me, Paulina.
That wasn't the first night, was it? You had seen it before, right? How about the truth, Gerardo?
People can die from an excess of truth, you know.
How many times, Gerardo? You tell me, and I'll tell you!
Twice.
That night? What about the other nights?
3 times.
What?
3 times.
She was that good? Like, you must have really liked her. I guess she liked it too. I mean, she must have, because she kept coming back for more.
Do you understand what you're doing to me?
It's beyond repair, huh? Irreparable.
What more do you want from me? We survived the dictatorship. We survived that, and now you want to do what those bastards out there couldn't do to us? Is that it?
No.
Do you want me to leave? Is that what you want? You want me to go out that door and never see you again? God, is that it?
No.
Well, that's what you're gonna get. Start from the time they got you.
Cut. Oh, it ended in a completely different place this time. You got it out
You
of her.
didn't say cut! I had to go
No.
somewhere!
That's good, but it's interesting that you went in an entirely different place. I think those dynamics are more in line with where you want to be. I think there's a greater variety. I think you have find greater strength when you need to, weakness when you need to. I think the second time you say 3 times, do you see what you're doing with me? To me, I don't know that that's a moment you need to be strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Irreparable is a jab. His crimes, their crimes, they're all irreparable. And I think you should use it that way. Good, next scene, thank you. If you want to give anybody notes after scenes while the setup is going on, please feel free to.